There's no such thing as something for nothing. And you might be thinking to yourself, no shit, there's no such thing as something for nothing. Everybody knows that there's no such thing as something for nothing. But then you say that, and 5 minutes later, you fall into the trap of wanting something for nothing. You have to pay with something to play the game. Everybody has 1 million, $1 million ideas, but that's the nothing. But it feels so good when you have the best business idea ever. You feel like you have something, but everybody experiences that. You're conditioned to think that that's something. Your parents, your teachers, your friends, you share this idea and everyone goes, oh, that's a great idea. Physiology, psychology, psychologist, a tip about your brain, right? When you speak something that you want, or you speak something that you think you're gonna do, you have a plan, you have a business idea, when you speak it out loud, it releases the same dopamine as if you were to actually do it. So a lot of people have an incredible idea, they say it out loud, they get that dopamine hit, and then you get nothing. Because you put nothing in. And you know, that's a reason gambling is so popular, because it feels like you're getting something for nothing. You go into the casino, you f around, play a few games, tick, 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 and you walk out with money. You think you got something for nothing, but then obviously you are risking something, the money. Nobody walks into the casino thinking they're gonna lose. So you go into the casino, you think you're gonna win a ton of money, and then all of a sudden, boom, you pay with money that you didn't want to lose. You weren't prepared to lose that money, and that's exactly the problem. Same with steroids. I'm gonna take steroids and get bigger muscles, free muscles, and you get the bigger muscles, but then all of a sudden, you're paying with your heart. Your kidneys are failing, you have liver problems. You're paying with something that you weren't prepared to pay. You always pay with something. What did Alex Eubanks say? You have to sacrifice for what you want, or what you want becomes the sacrifice. Come forward and say, I am sacrificing this first in order to accomplish this. Then you know what you're sacrificing. But if you go into a situation where you want something and you don't know what you're sacrificing, the sacrifice comes. It comes later down the line. Like with steroids, you have heart problems. You weren't ready to pay that due. You just wanted the muscles, so you didn't think about it. But if you know what you're risking, hey, I want bigger muscles faster, so I'm gonna take steroids, but I know that I'm risking my heart. Now I can stay more on top of my health, get my blood work done, take my tummy sartan, take my Dubivol, do all the things so that you don't have to risk as much. If you know what you are ready to risk, it's a much better trade-off than just hucking it down the 360 Piper, wanting something, putting up nothing. The universe just you into putting up something, and usually you pay with more than you were willing to pay. The real magic, the most spectacular things happen when you sacrifice something and you might get nothing in return. When you have a job, like we said, you work 5 hours, you get 5 hours pay. But when you put in work to start a business, to start your fitness channel, whatever it might be, you might get nothing in return for that endeavor, and most likely you will get nothing in return. But that's when the magic happens. When you embark on something that's you, where you're the boss of you, it's not someone else's project, it's your project. So you're taking the loss. The reason you go to work and you work 5 hours and you get 5 hours of whatever pay guaranteed in return is because the boss is taking the risk. But when you become your own boss and you embark on your that you love, you are now taking on all the risk, all the failure. But the star is the limit. You can make an unlimited amount of money when you are the boss. You might get nothing in return for years to reach that point, but that's part of the game. And you know this. That's the thing, is these things I'm saying, you guys know this deep down. You have to fail. You will not get anything in return for years. But people still are not willing to put in those years, even though you see the light at the end of the tunnel.